The film opens in a high-tech lab at Cambridge University, where scientists are studying a mysterious virus. The virus is still not fully understood. For their research, they've kept several chimpanzees in captivity, each one infected with the virus. The effects are shocking. The virus turns the chimps suddenly aggressive and violently unstable. Meanwhile, members of a secret animal rights group break into the lab. Their mission? Free animals held for cruel, unauthorized experiments. When they see what's been done to the chimpanzees, they're horrified and decide to release them. Just as they're unlocking the cages, a lab doctor bursts in and yells, "You have no idea what you're doing. These chimpanzees have been infected with a dangerous virus. If you release them, it could be catastrophic." But the activists ignore him and open a cage. Instantly, one of the chimps lashes out, attacking a girl and biting her. Within seconds, her eyes change color. She begins trembling violently and vomits blood. The infected blood splatters onto others, spreading the virus instantly. The virus has a terrifying effect. Because human and chimp brains are wired differently, the infection manifests uniquely. In humans, it triggers uncontrollable rage and violence, eventually turning them into savage, zombie-like creatures. It spreads quickly through blood or saliva. The doctor tries to kill the infected girl, but she's overtaken by the virus and kills him instead. From that moment, the virus spreads like wildfire, first consuming a city, then sweeping across the country. 28 days later, we shift to a new character, Jim, who wakes up in a London hospital after a long coma. Disoriented, he finds the place eerily deserted. No doctors, no nurses, no other patients, just a heavy silence. Jim steps out onto the city streets, completely empty. Hello! Posters of missing people plaster the walls. Buildings lie abandoned, not a soul in sight. It's like civilization vanished. Terrified and confused, Jim wanders into a church, only to find a pile of decaying bodies. Hello? Suddenly, a priest stumbles toward him, bloodied and twitching unnaturally. Before Jim can react, more infected appear and give chase. Panicked, Jim runs for his life. Just in time, two strangers intervene, setting the zombies on fire and pulling him to safety. Their names are Mark and Selena. At their hideout, Jim explains he was a bike courier who'd fallen into a coma after a traffic accident. He has no memory of anything afterward. Selena breaks the news. A deadly virus has taken over the city. The government failed to stop it. Everything collapsed. "You might be the only one left, Jim," she says. Selena and Mark reveal they've lost everyone. Friends, family, everyone. Jim clings to the hope that his parents might still be alive. The next day, they go to his home. What he finds destroys him. His parents had taken their own lives. In their hands, a photo of Jim. On the back, a note, "Jim, we left you sleeping. Now we're sleeping with you. Don't wake up." Jim is crushed. The grief overwhelms him, but he has no choice but to accept the brutal truth. The group decides to stay in Jim's house overnight. But as night falls, the danger rises. Zombies become more active. Suddenly, two of Jim's old neighbors, now infected, break in and attack. After a vicious fight, they manage to kill the zombies, but Mark has been bitten. Selena doesn't hesitate. She kills Mark before he can turn. Now it's just Jim and Selena. Soon after, they see a blinking light from a nearby building, possibly another survivor. They head up and are rescued by a man named Frank, who's been living there with his daughter Hannah, hiding from the chaos. Frank welcomes them and tells them about a military radio broadcast he picked up days earlier. It claimed a cure had been found, and a safe zone had been set up. Coordinates were included. Selena doubts it. Why would anyone still be trying to save people? But with nowhere else to go, the group decides to take the risk. On their journey, they reach a dark, abandoned tunnel. Jim thinks it's dangerous, but Frank insists it's the fastest route. They push through the tunnel, swerving around abandoned cars, until one of their tires blows out. As they scramble to fix it, zombies appear. It's a close call, but they manage to escape. After days on the road, they arrive at the military location, only to find it empty. As they turn back in disappointment, Frank sees a crow feeding on a corpse. A drop of infected blood falls into his eye. Realizing what's happening, Frank shoves Hannah away just as he begins to turn. Jim rushes to stop him, but a soldier appears and shoots Frank dead. The soldiers escort the group to their base. There they meet Major Henry, who assures them they're now safe. The area is barricaded and protected. Alarms will sound if any infected approach. But things aren't as they seem. Henry introduces Jim to a soldier named Mailer, who's been chained up after becoming infected. They're using him to study how long the infected can survive without food. That night, during dinner, an explosion rings out. Zombies have breached the perimeter. As the soldiers fight them off, one soldier sexually assaults Selena. Jim intervenes, furious, but Henry has him dragged away. Then comes the disturbing truth. The broadcast was a trap. The soldiers lured survivors in only to exploit the women. Henry sees this as the beginning of a new world. Jim, Selena, and Hannah try to escape, but are captured. Jim loses consciousness. One soldier, Farrell, turns out to be decent. He tells Jim, Henry's lost his mind. The virus can't spread more than 100 miles. It doesn't cross water. But Henry refuses to believe that. He wants to rebuild the world, his way. Henry orders Farrell and Jim to be executed in the woods. Farrell is shot, but Jim escapes. As he runs, a jet passes overhead, proof that there's still a world beyond the infection. Back at the base, Selena and Hannah are recaptured, but Jim returns, determined to save them. He activates the siren, drawing zombies to the base. In the chaos, Jim hunts down the soldiers. He finds and releases Mailer, who rampages through the base, infecting others. Selena and Hannah try to escape. One soldier corners them, but Jim arrives and kills him. Selena hesitates, unsure if Jim is turned, but when he spares her, she realizes he's still human. Just then, Hannah knocks Jim unconscious, thinking he was attacking Selena. When he wakes, they prepare to escape. But Major Henry is waiting. He's hiding in their car. He shoots Jim, screaming, "You killed my men!" Hannah floors the gas, and Mailer appears, dragging Henry out and killing him. The trio drives off. Selena gives Jim a shot to treat his wound. When he regains consciousness, they're in a peaceful countryside cottage. Suddenly, they hear the sound of a jet overhead. They rush outside waving a white cloth, signaling they're alive. Their faces light up with relief and hope. They've survived. And that's where this gripping, emotional journey comes to an end.